I'm in the weirdest place in my life. This has been the hardest semester I've ever done. This has been the hardest season of my life, but it's also been the greatest. That's why my emotions fluctuate so high and so low so quickly. But from the title of this video, I'm sure you know, today is my last day in hospice, and I just finished my last patient, and I'm coming on here, not that I ever do a script or anything, but I just really wanted to record my real and raw emotions. I was texting my husband, you know, that it's a wrap, and my lip was quivering and I just started to tear up. And it's mainly because of my patients. I absolutely love my patients. When you're in a field of nursing that is so vulnerable and so hard, but yet so rewarding, you're going into these people's homes and you're seeing them in their most vulnerable state. You develop a very close relationship, and so it's so hard to just get up and leave. My husband had been telling me for months, and the only reason he had was because he didn't want me working so hard. As a mother of 4 and taking pre-nursing classes that are not a cakewalk, he just wanted to make it easy for me. But I'm somebody who loves to work. I love to feel like I have a purpose, and I love to feel like I'm making an impact in my community, and that's exactly what I was doing. I find a lot of purpose in jobs that not a lot of people can do or want to do, and hospice is one of them. It's not easy doing hospice, but I can assure you it is the most rewarding experience I've ever had. And it's definitely an experience that has made me not just a better nurse for the future, but definitely a better person. And so I feel like hospice has done so much more for me than just something that I can put on my resume. I told them this isn't goodbye, it's just a see you later, because I will go visit them. That's how much I love them, and that's how much they mean to me. And there's no way I can just cut them out of my life when I built such a deep relationship with them. Now you may be wondering why I quit if I love it so much. To be honest, I feel like this whole time I've been trying to prove to myself like I'm worthy of becoming a nurse. That's the root of me doing all that I've been doing, is because of all of my mistakes, of all of my failures. I feel like I needed to earn my spot into getting into nursing school. I feel like I needed to prove to myself, and maybe to others and to my husband, that I am capable of doing it. I felt like I needed to work myself to the bone in order to know if I was ready, and also to feel like I earned my spot. I have been very sporadic, erratic, fly by the seat of my pants kind of gal, not really having any structure, any boundaries, any discipline. And so a lot of those choices that I've made in the past have made me feel so insecure about myself, about my decisions, and about my future. And it's so weird because on one end, I know I can do it. Like, I know that God has put all of this desire in my heart, and I know He will guide me through it. I've seen firsthand God's love, God's grace on my life. But the opposite end of me is that side of me that doesn't feel like I deserve it because of my past. Like, why can't I just live on this side? Like, why do I have to keep jumping back to those negative thoughts when I know who I am in God's eyes, and I know that God is guiding me, and I know that God has given me the strength? Not only that, but He's given me a wonderful husband, a wonderful support system, and I'm in a really good place in my life right now where my kids don't need 100% of my attention. That just means they're not toddlers anymore. You know, they're a little bit more independent. And so I'm in a really good place to move forward, even though I just lost the most important man, one of the most important men in my life, which is my father-in-law. But he even told me to not quit. That was, I don't know if you watched my update video. I mentioned in that video how Papo, that's my father-in-law, one of the last conversations we had was, he told me, don't quit. He's like, I know you're tired, but he said, don't quit. that man had so much faith in me, and he believed in me, and whatever I wanted to do, you know, I would go back and forth between teaching and nursing, and he would hate to see me so tired, and he would tell me to quit my jobs. He's like, why are you working yourself to the bone? He was like, just quit. But what's so odd, and I know it was God, is that our last conversation, I can't remember if it was our last, but it's definitely like the last couple of conversations, he said, don't quit. He said, just keep going. He told me, don't quit. So in a way, I feel like I'm doing this for him, even though it hurts so much that he won't be there. I know he'll be there in spirit, but it's not the same when they're there in person. So I'm quitting because I don't have to keep proving to myself that I don't have to keep proving to myself that I need to earn my spot, that I am worthy of it. I am worthy of a good life. I am worthy of having stability, not just a home, but financial stability. Like, I didn't grow up around any of that. I didn't have any stability, any financial stability, none of that. And I want that so badly for my family. I can't explain it, but I'm just telling you how I feel. I mean, I can't explain it, but it doesn't make sense. Like, I know I can achieve it, but at the same time, I feel like I can't. It's so weird, and I think it's because of how I grew up. You know, my mom was a single mom, and we were always struggling. We jumped around house to house because my mom's sisters were also single, and they were all trying to help each other out, and then things would happen, and so then my mom would go to her other sister's house, and then we would go to a different city, and then sometimes I'd go live with my grandmother. And at one point I was living at a boarding school that was meant for low-income families. I had no stability in my life, so for me to see that in my future, it doesn't seem attainable. But at the same time, I see my kids, and they're my reason, they're my purpose for me moving forward. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but that's how I've been feeling. And I'm sorry, I keep getting off track. But I am quitting because I do deserve to just focus on my studies. I'm gonna keep taking classes. And my husband said, just focus on yourself, focus on school, and don't worry about anything else. And I'm going to do that. I feel like I am allowed to not have to feel like I need to earn my spot, or I have to work myself to the bone to prove to myself and to others. There's nobody I need to prove to, especially God. So I texted my husband, I told him it's a wrap, and he said, I know it's hard, but it served its purpose. And what's funny is I also texted my mother-in-law, and she said the exact same thing. I am quitting. It's nice to just enjoy being a student, being a mom, and working on myself. And I'm not gonna feel guilty about that. I think I felt guilty leaving all of the expenses on my husband. Even though he always pays the majority of it, I don't know what I'm thinking that my measly check will help in. He's always paid for everything, but you know, it's just that security blanket. I am, although, keeping my med-surg job. My med-surg job is a lot more flexible. With my hospice, there's another reason why I'm quitting hospice, is because I couldn't say no whenever they called me in. And me being the only aide, I couldn't say no because I couldn't leave all of that work on the nurses. But before I put in my 2 weeks notice, I made sure that there was another aide before I left, so I don't feel as guilty leaving them, because they will have an aide to replace me. With hospice, it's a Monday through Friday 8 to 5 job, and that's when I'm trying to study, I'm going to classes, or I'm picking up the kids, and for them to call and be like, hey, can you come do this patient's visit? Like, I couldn't say no. And then it would start my process of being my thought process of being overwhelmed, of being stressed, because now that I'm doing this, I can't do this, which means it takes in the time that I was going to have with the kids or in my workout. And so I'm letting it go so that I can move forward and be able to succeed and put all of my effort into making sure we have a brighter future. I need to breathe, y'all. This semester was the craziest, hardest semester of my life. And I feel like I've just been go, go, go. And even though I have been cutting back little by little, I'm learning what I should put on my plate and what I should take off. The old Crisanta would see an empty plate and be like, okay, what can we put on this plate? Oh, let me get a job at MedSurg. Oh, let me get a job with hospice. Oh, I have this opening right here. Yeah, let me fill it in with something else. I don't want to be like that anymore. I want to enjoy this time, this breather, before the next semester starts. And I really want to take time just to be in the Word, because that's another thing. I have not been in the Word lately. I've been so distant from God. It's getting better. And I know God is always there with open arms waiting for me, and He's always with me. It's me who hasn't been going to Him as much. So anyways, yeah, today was my last day. Bittersweet. A lot more bitter than it is sweet, but I know it's to benefit me. To benefit me, to benefit my family. Why is this so... Don't zoom in. I look super... Yeah, and I wore my hospice shirt, the shirt that my nurse gave me, and it was nice to be able to end my last visit with my nurse as well. Anyways, I'm rambling at this point. I just wanted to give y'all that update, and to be honest, I'm really excited for what's to come up. I've almost finished with all of my classes. It's been a great semester. It's been the hardest one, but it's also been, like I said, it's been my most growing semester for sure. Anyways, I want to thank y'all for being here. Thank you so much for your support. I'm excited to keep going with this journey and seeing where it takes me, because I've seen... That's why I love vlogging, because I can look back and see what true growth is like. And I'm talking about more emotionally, because I'm a very emotional person. And for me to be able to push through my emotions, that's a very big deal for me. It may not be a big deal for a lot of people, because not a lot of people are as emotional as I am, but for my emotional people, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I'm excited to keep vlogging this journey, and thank you so much for being here. I'm sad to see my hospice journey come to an end, but who knows? Let's see what the future holds as far as hospice, because I can definitely see myself as a hospice nurse, but I can see myself as a lot of different types of nursing specialties. So we'll see where life takes me, but I'm excited. I love y'all so much.